Hello and welcome once again to the Voice of the Coast. We are waterbound today on the Port of Morgan City's 32-foot double outboard motor. Very cool boat with Mac Reid, Executive Director of the Port of Morgan City. And what we're going to do, not just for this show, but for a few shows, we're going to get a few shows out of this. We've been talking so much about the region around and what's happening in Terrebonne Parish. We hear things about Ascension Parish. Everybody seems to be getting something. We wonder what's happening in St. Mary Parish, particularly in Morgan City. And there is a lot of work going on, as Mac is going to show us over these next few interviews. It's not along the highway and you don't really see it. So let's start here. We are not too far from the locks, the Corps of Engineer locks. And Mac, what is it that we're looking at today?
Right, like you say, right now we're over here by the Bayou Buff Locks. We're in the Slackwater area, but there's a lot of businesses along the Slackwater area. You have about 5 or 6 major companies along this area. Some of them are international companies. We're right in front right now. We're over here by Intermoor. Intermoor is owned by Action. They're out of the UK. This has been a joint venture with the Port of Morgan City. We purchased this land from the Young Foundation back in about 2009. And between Intermoor, the port, the state, and the federal government, we were able to build this facility and everything. They've had well over 100 people working at this site for years. And in the background, you see these big cylinders.
Let's step back so the camera can see it there. All right, what are these?
Those are called suction piles. Those are anchors. You say, well, that doesn't look like an anchor to me, but no, but that's what they are. If on the ends where you see all the yellow paint, you see some valves and everything, those valves, when they use these things, they can be used for the offshore industry. They're used for the wind energy industry around the world. They sell these things all over the place, all over the Gulf of Mexico, to Africa where the oil fields offshore, in the North Sea where you got wind energy. These things, a big crane will pick them up, lower them to the sea floor, and then they hook hoses up to them and they suck themselves down into the sand. And then they anchor off the structure what they have.
Do they build these for specific clients, or do they just keep them in stock? And
they're reusable too. Because if you when the job's over, they'll go in there with the hoses, they'll pump it, and they'll bring the thing back out. These things will last for a long time, and they're all. But basically, they're anchoring whatever's above them to the sea floor.
How long have they been building these?
They've been putting these things out since about 2011. The facility opened, and they've been shipping them out by big ocean-going barges for years.
And is this their own design, or is this something?
It's engineered, it's patented and everything. We're going to go, when we leave here, we're going to go down this area, and there's another company about 1,000 yards from us right now. They build these same structures and everything.
Who's
different
that?
class. New Industries.
Okay.
New Industries build this, but this is big for the oil field. Mm-hmm. Big for the oil field in the Gulf, but big for the oil field all the way around the country. I mean, there's a lot. They ship these things over to Africa. They ship them down to Brazil. They'll put like 12 of these big structures on a big ocean-going barge and ship them out.
How many people do they employ in Morgan City? We're talking about Intermoor. How many people in Morgan City?
You know, and if you go on their website and look, Oceaneering has, because it takes, besides all your fabrication people at this yard working here, they also got crews that go do the installation. That's another 50 to 100 people in that operation. But you got several hundred people working at this facility, and had that for a long time.
Is this something that will be ongoing for a long time? One thing we hear a lot about in this area, and it was particularly in the days when we were building derricks, you kind of got specific jobs, and that job ended, and you wonder where's the next work going to come from. Is this a sustainable kind of industry?
Chris, hopefully, it's been sustainable up till now. Now, this is oil field stuff. You know, when you think of oil field, well, Mac, that's been up and down. You're right, it's been up and down here in the Gulf of Mexico. Mm-hmm. The oil field has slowed way down over the last several years. You still can get gas for your car.
Right.
The world is still using vast amounts of energy, They're drilling like crazy in Mexico, the Gulf America. They're drilling off South America. They're drilling all over in Africa. This is where these things are going, besides going in the Gulf of America. But they will go there. So their business has, just because it slows down here, doesn't, this is an international company.
Right. Okay, tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to relocate and show you more of what's going on around here. This is the Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to Voice of the Coast with Mac Wade, Director of the Port of Morgan City, and taking a look at one of the founding fathers, really, of the offshore oil industry here, Oceaneering, and they have been around since the 50s.
Since the early 50s, this is where they started out as a diving company in the early days and everything. Oceaneering's been in Morgan City 50 plus, 60 plus years, 70 plus years.
And they've changed with the times, just like everybody.
Yes, they were. I mean, they were just a diving company way back then. But then as they have evolved, they were the first ones basically to come out with the ROVs, remote operated vehicles.
What are these things?
The yellow pipes you see behind us at Oceaneering, these are called jumpers. Jumpers are used in the oil field as they drill wells offshore. They may drill 15, 16, 20 wells off one drilling platform. And as they drill those on the bottom of the seafloor, you have to connect all those wells, and they call these jumpers. And this is pipe that lays on the bottom of the ocean floor, connected to the well heads, where they can get the oil or the gas over to the pipeline, or wherever it's going, or up to a ship, or up to a tank, whatever it is. But Oceaneering has developed a lot of stuff. Oceaneering has been in space. They worked with NASA. Oceaneering has projects going on right now with the U.S. Navy Department. The defense, they're working with the defense contractors. But Oceaneering has been involved for many, many years. They have hundreds of people here, and this is where they put a lot of the remote vehicles together. They used to use the ones that were tethered during the BP oil spill. You'd see the ROVs down below showing the wellhead. Now they're remote control. So they have kept up with the times, and they're ahead of times. They've been a great company for this area for a long time.
Okay, we're right by new offshore industries now. Looking at those two big tanks back there. What is that, Mac?
Bill New's company he builds the modulars just like we saw, the suction piles that we saw down at Intermoor. You may see some of them in the background, but those two big white tanks, those are high pressure vessel tanks. Bill has been in business for probably over 30, 40, going on 40 years in this area. He employs a lot of people in the area, but you can see his yard. It's got, those white columns standing behind us, you don't see anything on them, but just standing up. They also load out a lot of the hopper, the hopper valves and everything. I mean the jumpers, I'm sorry, the jumper valves. Ships come in here and all the time. We're on a day when you'd normally see a lot of ships in here, but this is good. They must have already come in and loaded stuff out to go to the Gulf of America, which is a good thing.
Right.
Because it's usually chock-a-block full with boats. But there's a lot of industry in this area. Bill New, like I say, that's high pressure vessels. They have customers for this. They have the suction piles. They're sending those big suction piles overseas. Very, very busy area in here.
All right, and we'll wrap it up with a couple of shipyards over here. Who are we looking at here, Mac?
This is Enterprise Shipyard called Electra. You can see, I don't know if that's a new vessel or what, but it's on the dry dock now. There's another one behind it. These are called dry docks. That's when boats have to come in and get repaired. They got to be taken out of the water. What they do, they sink these dry docks down. They pull the boat up on it. Then they pump it back up, ballast it up, and they got a clear deck. Right next to it is Halimar. Halimar Shipyard's been here for a very long time. Halimar Shipyards builds new vessels. They build barges. They build dredges. But on the show, I've talked about for several years that down in the barge channel we had this material called fluff. They were the ones that designed and engineered a purpose-built dredge just for the Port of Morgan City. Awesome. On the John E. Graham. This is where it was put together.
We hear that comment about people so much that the ingenuity is what really makes our people special.
That dredge was put together with the Corps, with the port, with Halimar, and with Bryce Civil Services. That, you see all that, there's something behind that plastic. That is a huge yacht. That is a yacht that Seafair Yachts out of Miami is building. They must be pretty far along. They got plastic up, that means they must be painting, but that's a $60 million yacht.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, with that, we're gonna wrap up this this program. This is gonna be one of several we do offshore here with Mac. So we appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next time on Voice of the Coast.